Hey everybody, it's Rick Elkin. Are we having fun yet, kids? You know, I was listening to the radio today as I was driving around, and I heard a couple of talk show hosts discussing the Hollywood admissions cheating scandal, and I could not believe what I was hearing from these supposed educated um, commentators as they talked about the recent judgment, I guess, about one of the persons that's been charged with. So I'm not sure which one. It doesn't really matter because really the point is this: the guy said a judge decided to go leniently on this particular uh, Hollywood personality because he said he could not figure out who the victim was. And, I'm thinking to myself, what are you, crazy? I mean, these guys, these judges, how could they possibly have passed law school? Maybe this is the problem, is that our colleges aren't teaching anybody anything. Even the law school graduates don't seem to have any sense of right and wrong. So the question then was, who are the victims of such a scam where a parent pays intermediary to go to the school and fake documents or forged documents or whatever it happened to be to pretend that this student is qualified to be at that institution, to get them into that school, even though they are not qualified. And the question then is, who is the victim? And I have the answer to that. It's real simple. Um, First of all, it's every student is a victim because the other students are working hard, learning, getting grades, doing what they have to do, extracurricular activity after school, all that kind of stuff, so that they can qualify to go to these prestigious colleges. And so if they are losing a place in that college because some Hollywood movie star was able to spend a lot of money and get their kid in place of them, then that student is losing and is being victimized. But all students are, because what it's telling them, the message that's being sent, not only by this judge, but by the colleges themselves, if they allow this or in any way support this kind of cheating, they're sending a message and they're saying that money outweighs achievement and that parents and administrators cheat. So, first of all, that hurts the students, it teaches them all the wrong lessons, and it denies a place at that school to someone who actually earned it. Uh, so, the merit that those students have essentially has no value. And that means they are being victimized. Obviously, it costs a lot of money to go to these schools. And if these schools aren't really teaching anybody anything, if a student can get in there who is not qualified and pass, what does that tell us? That tells us that what's going on campus is virtually worthless. So these Hollywood stars who send their kids there, if the school was really doing its job, they wouldn't last 2 semesters. They'd flunk out, but they don't. So, or at least in the experience of most of these parents that are spending all this money, is that they won't. So that tells us a lot about what's going on the campuses. And then the other thing one of the announcers said was, "Oh, this goes on all the time. Rich people often make big contributions to colleges so they can get their name on one of the buildings." And he was drawing an equivalency between making a philanthropic donation to help a school grow and provide facilities for a growing number of students and people who cheat to get their kids into school who otherwise wouldn't have qualified to go to that school. That to me is really demeaning to the whole philanthropic process, equating private money being donated by someone who has the means to someone using their money who has the means to get a kid in to the college who doesn't really qualify. is like apples and oranges. In fact, it's worse than that, because one of them is completely illegal. So that's it for me today. Thanks for being there. I hope to see you again soon.